Okay, hi guys.
Hi.
Um, I was recording this. I actually recorded this whole video, and come to find out I wasn't recording anything, but it was good. So I don't remember what I was talking about anymore. But what I want to talk about today, keeping up by 365 days, is some of the Real Housewife characters, their behavior. Let me first start by saying, please, people, remember that this is a television show. Now they can label it reality all they want to, but the reality of it is there is no reality to it. They've already talked about how Portia being one, how they cut the scenes, or how they talk about something that transpired, and they try to recreate that, which that's almost impossible. And then there are characters that get paid more to act in a certain way, or there's characters' behavior that was always a certain way that hasn't changed. Oh, by the way, I'm Empress.
I'm Tori with 151.
So we're going to talk about that today. So let me start off with Nene. Because I've seen some people put up a video about Nene and bashing and going in and hating and all that kind of stuff. If they have you hating that character and yet you're still watching, then they've done a job well done. Because that's what they want you to watch the show for the ratings. They don't care whether you hate the person or love the person, as long as you watch the show. And if you're doing a review, you're watching. There's millions of people that are watching that particular franchise or show of the franchise of the Beverly Hills or the New York or Orange County, and people are watching that and flocking to that because of the first of all I have to say is Nene. In every show there has to be a bad guy, and that bad guy, I would have to say, they try to make it Nene. We knew her first as coming in, and she was the underdog and all of that, and built her brand up. And she is building her brand. While you're sitting up bashing her and what she said or did or the shade she threw or whatever, she's building her brand. Believe that. Is she rich and millions and stuff? I don't know. I really don't know because I don't know what they pay any of them. But for her to come on camera and knowing that people are going to be seeing this, and especially her castmates later on, and she's blatantly throwing shade outright. Like last night was ridiculous. The shade with Portia and the weave, or Kenya going to the men's room and things like that. She wants you to continue watching that and continue doing that. And they're paying her big bucks to be brave enough to come out and to say those things. So she's playing her role to the T. She should be on Broadway or any place else that she is or isn't, because she deserves to be, because she can play those roles. I know that she had the one show. What was that show she had?
Glee.
No, not Glee. The New Normal.
Oh, yeah.
And she was a little bit stiff in there, but she was getting better and better. But she played that part very well, and she plays this one even better because it's her comfort zone, and she's getting paid to do that. People, it's a show. What do you have to say?
I feel the same way. It's a show, and this is a character she plays. We know nothing about her and her personal life or what she does on a day-to-day basis, and we should probably keep it like that. But of course, we're going to have people that want to think otherwise.
Right. Next, we have Kenya. Kenya is the other person that we don't like. Now, the good thing about Kenya for the show is that she polarizes people. Either you love her or you hate her. At one point, we thought that she was going to jump out and beat everybody up. She was stormtrooping through and doing the most. And she wasn't even that person at all, because Portia, who's a character on the show, who forgot she was a character on the show and did the whole dragging her, let her get to her. But that's her job. They pay Kenya to stir up the pot, to come and act like she's going to be nice, play nice, and then in the diary room she's a bad kitten. So they want her to be that. They want her to say things like she's a mogul, because that's supposed to get you stirred up. Because we know in real life, some of those low budget outfits that she wears and all of that, we don't even know where her home is. We haven't been inside of that. We've looked at some places she dreamt of living in but hasn't been in. Is she going to get an office for $5,500, $2,500 a month? Please, please. Only till the checks stop coming in. So then that'll be that. But if she stirs you up, then her job has been done. Um, who else?
We have Cynthia, and she's basically the little lamb of everything. You know, everybody can come at her any old kind of way or say anything they want to, and she's pretty much gonna take it. You know, she's the doormat for everybody.
Exactly. We're supposed to see her as meek and mild and humble to her husband and sweet as can be. And yet, we've known all along, if you watched the show and you followed it from the beginning when she did come on the show, that she had this other little side to her that she would let slip out here and there. Now I notice that she's letting that slip out on more people where she gets a little shady or catch an attitude with more people. But that was supposed to happen. We would see her meek and mild, and then we were going to see her become self-empowered and courageous and speak up for herself or whatever. And of course now we're waiting on her to do that with her husband. I don't know if that's going to ever happen because it's a better storyline when she bows down to him. What do you say about Peter?
Peter, way too feminine. Everybody has something to say about him because he's constantly in women's business. You know, it seems like he can't get it in his mind that, you know, when women are talking, you should be with your boys and shoot pool or whatever you guys do, and, you know, leave us alone.
Right.
He's always in it.
And once again, we get stirred up. It's a show that's tugging at you emotionally, and even when it's dull, and you know it's going to be, excuse me, because how much do we want to sit up with a bunch of people on a TV and watch them go get drinks or lunch? We don't do that in our own life. Here and there, of course, here and there, but not no everyday thing where they're not hitting a job every day. You know, we're going to see that with Peter. Excuse me. It's about the housewives, so we automatically get a man to bash. So that's always a really good thing, I suppose, to keep the story moving forward. Portia came in as the little waif girl, the little sad girl. Excuse me, the rich. I knocked the whole thing down. Okay, she came in as the richy, sad girl that we're all supposed to feel sorry for. With this so-called wealthy ex-athlete and all of that, and getting bullied by the girls and stuff like that. And she has stepped into her own. She was always pretty, but she's become really Miss Pretty, and but not so much Miss Prissy. So she's changed as well too. For those people that keep questioning why is Portia on the show, she's not getting to hold a peach or wherever. What rock have you crawled out from under? Are you that stupid? Plain and simple. They can't put her up in the credits and everything because they don't want Bravo to look like that's the ghetto show. We allow this beaten up and beaten down. This is not Basketball Wives. This is not Love and Hip Hop. We're Bravo. We're so much better and above that. And so they can't put her up there because then they're going to have their sponsors angry because people are going to be complaining and whatnot. So rather than cut her because she is too good to watch, they leave her in the show every single episode. She will continue to be in the show, but she won't be seen in the opening or the pictures or whatever. But we know she is in there more than Claudia and Demetria. Now the show is Candy. Please. Candy is a shit starter. And if you didn't know that, please don't come at me and talk about that's just started or that's new or she didn't used to be like that. She was always like that. From the very beginning she was like that. She used to run with Sheree and Kim. Come on. So we already knew that that's who she was. It's not just coming out now. She's coming out more because they get paid to up the game.
Mm-hmm.
If they kept it the same old show and everybody was the same old way, no changes in hair or outfits or success levels or whatever, it'd be a show that's off the air. It'd be a show we wouldn't watch because we don't watch shows like that, and they're non-reality. So we want to see transformations, and we want to see growth, and we want to see you revealing yourself like an onion with the layers of you coming down. We want to see that. Who else? What do you have to say about Candy?
Candy, like you said, she starts stuff, and she's been like that, and she got burnt messing with Kim, and then that stopped, but she was still hanging with Sheree when Sheree was still on. But more and more she's coming out with it, and more people are like, what? Like, no, Candy's been doing this, so.
Mm-hmm.
Except she's been in the diary room now. She's trying to come in people's faces and try to be slick and stuff.
Right, or stir up stuff, especially with the Sharon and the Mama Joyce and Sharon, God rest her soul. That gave something for Candy really to focus on. Now, as far as the audience, concerned, she didn't need anything else. We felt like all the businesses and the plays and stuff was enough, but it's not enough on TV. That's cool. Don't get me wrong. That's good for her, but that does nothing to hold our interest. It's only so many sex toy shows we want to go to, or plays, that musicals or what have you, that we want to see. The other lady, Claudia, she to me was just somebody to add more change and variety. The one thing that we have to do is add variety. I think they thought they were going to need her and Demetria. I think they thought they were going to need both of them behind the Portia Kenya battle, and that Portia was going to probably be gone and all of that, or somebody was going to be gone. And I think they also wanted to have insurance in case Nene decided not to come back. But she did come back, because she always says she's not coming back. And what do? We hold on waiting.
Oh, yeah. Always. Nene has given that threat since the beginning, so we hold on, and she ends up coming back anyways. But Claudia is boring. She's really not necessary for the show, in our personal lives, but to Bravo, she was much needed. She doesn't have a storyline right now, so we're just getting introductional stuff, about her life and where she was born, who her parents are.
Claudia reminds me, I can remember being in school, and we had our little girl clique, and we have been rolling, since grade school, so now here's half the year over, and we get this new girl that comes to the high school, right? And so we're sitting at the cool table, and she comes over and starts like spilling her guts to everybody about who she was, where she from, what school she went to, why she wasn't there at the beginning of the year. And I can remember just looking at it and inside myself wishing that she would just be quiet. And it wasn't because I was bored of it, but I already knew. This is the crew I was running with, so I already knew that they were going to talk about her and whatnot. So she left feeling good, like she was going to be into that crew. And when you're in that kind of crew, you got to earn your way in. It takes time. And as soon as she walked away from our lunch table, don't you know, everybody busted out laughing. She had real short fro, way long before it was in style, calling her bald-headed and all kind of stuff. And I didn't say anything, just FYI. But I was still guilty for association. I didn't get up, and I didn't tell them to be quiet either. But Claudia is like that. She wants to get in quick, spill her guts. Let's hurry up and get to know her and her family and all of that. If we don't even know you, I don't need to know your mama, your daddy, your bald-headed granny. I don't need to know anything at all. So she reminds me of that girl. And if she lingers around the show, if they keep her long enough, she'll meld in somewhere. I don't really know where. She'll have to be able to bring the drama, though. She'll have to be able to up her game and be more about just her smoking 90-year-old granny and her mother, because that's yawn. But ultimately it's all just a show, and more we're coming to about it, because it's been years before we thought this stuff was all real, and at one point it was real, and then as the years got on, they just
put in more and more scripting and more cuts and editing and all that kind of stuff. And then now we're hip to it. So now we know that every reality show has some kind of script to it. Because it would be boring. Because they're doing what we would be doing is, having the camera play and we're sitting on the couch watching TV.
Mm-hmm. And then don't believe Nene. She's not going anywhere. She's going to continue to be on that show because that's the show that pays the bills, and she's become accustomed to that lifestyle. Everything else is icing on the cake. But it's a show, folks. Let's leave it as a show. Let's don't get so worked up and irate because then they got you. And when they got you, then you're living blind and looking blind. It's a TV show. They finish on their film dates and they're set on the sets and whatever, and then they go about their business. They don't give a fuck about you. So that's what I have to say. And don't forget to subscribe, to thumbs us up, to definitely leave a comment. Let me know if you agree or you disagree.
All right. We'll see you guys later.